My friend
Yeah.
and the viewers, she's just not into you. There is no
Yes,
way in this
yeah.
day and age where everybody's glued onto their phone to the point where it's even considered an addiction
Yeah.
that you cannot respond to a text within 24 hours.
Yeah.
If you can have your phone and go on Instagram and scroll and go on Facebook and everything else, and somebody messages you, sends you a message, and then you don't respond to like the next day, the person is just not interested, because if there is an interest, they would actually take that time to respond to you. So this is where fellas have to remain stoic. Don't be a simp. Don't chase.
Welcome to the Talk Exchange podcast. I'm your host, Nick Thomas, and I'm here with Frank, the MC.
In the building once again. Nick, what's
All right.
popping, man?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm blessed, highly favored. Good
Yeah.
to be here. Just happy to be alive, man.
Yeah.
And to be hanging out with my friend to talk about some interesting topics.
That's it. I appreciate that. Likewise, man. Likewise.
Thanks, man.
How has the week been? Because we're both busy.
Yeah.
Both do a lot of things or whatever it
Yeah.
is, different fields, of course. But how's the week been, man?
Week's been busy.
Yeah.
Week's been busy, ups and downs. Sometimes you just want to just take a break,
Yeah.
but you got to keep going. But I try to find a balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is one of the fun things I love to do
Yeah.
that's not considered work.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a little mini break
Yeah.
within the whole realm of the working hard type of feel.
Yeah, I agree 100%. This is a little bit of a break and a little bit
Yeah.
of change of pace for me. Of
Nice.
course, in the construction field, doing homes and stuff like that or whatever. So it's a little bit of a change and a nice little relaxation and, something else that my mind is thinking about,
For sure.
So,
And honestly, man, I should even thank you for being here, because you're so busy. You get so busy, it's crazy.
Yeah,
To the
yeah,
points I
I
don't
do.
even know if it's gonna happen or not. So
Yeah.
for you to even, come through and, like you said, take that little break outside of our regular realm of work,
Yeah.
it's blessed, man.
It's blessed, man.
Get
It's
some stuff
blessed.
off our chest, few laughs,
Yeah.
while we even give advice and educate and even just entertain people.
yeah, exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly. So we'll jump right into it.
All right.
Again, I'll say we're not experts in
The
relationships.
disclaimer
or
has to be
stuff.
put in full
Yeah,
effect.
just our experiences and stuff like that or whatever. So,
Yes.
when dating, this is probably more for women, dating in a relationship and stuff, or various people, because they're not in a relationship, so they're dating multiple people. How would a woman determine the difference between a guy wanting a sexual relationship or a relationship that's going to be long term?
That is actually a tricky one, because sometimes people can actually fake a relationship for intercourse.
Yes.
So for me, I would say it's just by doing other quality activities,
Yeah.
other than just coming in for a quick, hit and leave.
Yeah.
Or hit and run.
Well, you said people, but men.
All right, let's
I
say men.
would say men specifically
Okay.
can fake a whole entire relationship
Yes.
just to keep access
For sure.
to the woman.
Yeah.
Right. Women more tend to have an emotional connection when they have sex with someone, and men just do it.
But there are some men that actually do get whipped.
Yes.
When
you're
a
right.
soul snatcher snatches your soul,
What's a soul snatcher?
somebody that actually takes your soul.
Okay, that's it. All right.
A soul snatcher.
Right.
So for men, yes, men, put it this way, you already know this. Women control access to sex. Men control access to relationships. It's very, very seldom that you actually see a woman proposing to a man.
Right.
So this is why sometimes women do not know where they stand if a guy is not taking it serious, want to move in with them, or even want to actually commit, as for example, getting engaged,
Right.
to drop the ring on her. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So to answer your question, there is no real way, but a woman has to be able to use her intuition to know if the guy is just there for sex or if he's actually there for the long run. For example, we never do anything. We don't go to dinner. We don't go for walks. We don't go fishing. We don't, sit down in a park and have a picnic. We don't do anything considered romantic or something intimate. All I get is a phone call saying I'm coming over. We drink, we chat for a little bit, we have sex, and then he's gone till further notice.
Yeah.
If that's a reoccurring pattern, then that is actually something a woman have to consider as a red flag, because there is nothing else that you're doing that's considered quality relationship time
Right.
other than your sex time.
Yeah. Well, that might be, with the age thing and how busy someone is as well. Because some men are busy. But I feel if there's no conversation about future, endeavors that you want to do together, like i.e. moving in, or we're going to take a trip together, we're going to do this together or whatever, and there's not that communication of, why the time might be limited, then I think, that's a good way, like, again, red flag, to show that guy is probably not interested further or whatever than just sex. But at the same time, when someone, like, you have a guy that's super successful, like a CEO, you've seen those marriages where the guy is barely around, but the woman is taken care of.
Yes.
100%, right? She doesn't have to work. She has a house. She has a black card. She has this and that, whatever. But because of their schedule, like even an athlete is all over the world.
Yeah.
So they don't have that much time for the relationship. If that's someone in the dating process, do you think that's warranted? Like, how would someone determine that at that point?
Yeah, it's not warranted in the very, very beginning of your dating phase because the person is not available, And when you mention these CEOs that actually have the money, the cars, the black card, they've already established a relationship. They already have something that took it to that next level for them to be that comfortable. So there's a comfort level in knowing exactly how each and every one of you actually is programmed and scheduled. And you mentioned earlier that some people might be very, very busy or too. Nick, I always say this. If you actually have a special, unique interest in someone, you will make time. There's a reason why there's something called time management and organization. So if you have great time management skills, if you have organizational skills, it can be implemented to your personal life as well as your work life. So I don't want to hear nobody saying, I'm too busy to commit to someone. That's nonsense. There's so many people out there, CEOs, for example, and some other entrepreneurs, and even regular 9-to-5 workers, truckers. They still have the time to take care of their family, including their children. You have to make time. So when somebody goes, I'm too busy, I don't have the time, that's pretty much a red flag, because you know what? If you really care for someone, you can actually make time. And guess what? How come you're so special that you don't have time, but everybody in the world that has a family still has the time to put in work for their family?
Yeah. It's a going along that point. Sometimes when you're courting a woman, they'll say that how busy they are in terms of returning a text, a phone call, or whatever. That they're, oh my God, they were so busy. They're a mom. They're this, they're that. We all carry our phones. Everybody has their phone on them. Now, depending on how busy, you may not be able to answer right there and then, but in the course of a certain amount of time, you got to be able to return something. So in terms of a woman or a guy courting a woman, and a woman saying that they're so busy, that's what you're saying. It's not. That's impossible.
My friend.
Yeah.
And the viewers, she's just not into you. There is no way in this day and age where everybody's glued onto their phone to the point where it's even considered an addiction.
Yeah.
That you cannot respond to a text within 24 hours.
Yeah.
If you can have your phone and go on Instagram and scroll and go on Facebook and everything else, and somebody messages you, sends you a message, and then you don't respond to like the next day, the person is just not interested, because if there is an interest, they would actually take that time to respond to you. So this is where fellas have to remain stoic. Don't be a simp. Don't chase. If you actually have someone ignoring you, take a step back. Don't double text. Don't double message. All you're doing is just turning her off more. Nothing is less attractive than a man that chases a woman that does not want to be chased by him. So we have to also be aware of that.
Yeah.
So when a woman says, oh, I'm just too busy, just hit her up, not a problem. I'll talk to you some other time.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
Yeah.
A week goes by, 2 weeks go by, she's going to be checking her phone to wonder, how come this guy that used to call me or text me is not messaging me anymore?
Yeah.
This is where the psychological effect comes in. Because now the chaser has now retreated. Now she wants to emotionally find out why he's no longer chasing her.
Now, with that, do you think, so obviously to me, that would show me that she's not that interested, like you said.
Yes.
Now, if that psychological game, let's say, plays into effect and she does, after 2 weeks, you retreat, and 2-3 weeks, she hits you up or whatever, does that warrant that it's okay to now talk to her because she initially did not have that interest?
Very, very good question. Now, here's what I'm going to say about that. It's not really a game. If you're not a geek, you're just not a geek. If it's built in you to actually respect yourself and value yourself, I'm not going to actually chase somebody to actually be invited to a party which they don't want me to be in. So if I see that you're taking 24 hours, 48 hours to respond to my text, it's quite simple. Have some respect for yourself. Fall back. If she takes 2 weeks to get back to you and say, hey, what's up? Pause. Don't just jump immediately because it shows that you're still desperate. And sometimes she could be just doing it just to pull your strings to see if she still has you in that frame of desperate simp guy. Sometimes women just need that attention. She could be having a bad day, but just wants to have that type of boost to boost her morale or self-confidence that somebody still wants her, chases her. Take a break. Respond maybe within half a day, maybe even the next day. Hey, how you doing? Sorry, I've been busy. How's everything going? Keep it nice, short, and simple, and watch how things change.
Yeah. Now, some people would think that's a game.
Well,
I understand. It's
you've
not
known
really...
me. You've known me since we were like 16 years of age. Based on stories I've told you, does it seem like I play a game? It's just who I am.
Yeah, it's not a really. I know. I'm saying some people will call
That's
it
what I mean.
game.
And what I'm trying to say. So what I'm saying is, sometimes if it's just in you to actually value yourself and have respect for yourself, why should you consider it a game?
Yeah.
I think it's actually disrespectful for me to message you and you message me 24 to 48 hours after and don't even apologize or even give a reason. Even if you're lying, just give a reason. At least it shows that you have the decency to come up with something to show some sort of respect for my time. But if you just hit me up 24, 48 hours later, hey, hon, how are you? After I messaged you like last year, there's no need for me to actually even respond to you. And you know, I would not respond. I will archive you.
Yeah.
If you have a respect and an interest for me, you will not be taking 2 days or 1 day to respond to my messages.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And where I think some people will call it a game, or some women will call it a game, it's just, I don't know if they just want to like pull the strings, like you said, where they're like, well, I was busy. Because some people will argue that. You know what I mean? Like when you say, hey, well, you took, because they'll also ask you, like, I hit you up yesterday and da-da-da-da-da. Now, when they've kept you waiting for 2 weeks, and now when you say, well, I mean, I didn't think you were interested, you're hitting me back after a week, 2 weeks, or whatever the deal is. So I'm not thinking you're interested. So when I get a chance and I'll hit you back, then they'll call it a game.
And you know what? If they call it a game, then they call it a game. Because exactly your response right there is exactly what any man should actually say or respond to when being questioned for leaving a message 2 weeks ago and getting a reply 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Why would you say anything else? And sometimes you don't even need to even say anything. Let's say, hey, you know what? Just been busy. Hope everything is well. How are you? That's it. Yeah. If she takes another 2 days, not a problem. Then just take another 3 weeks.
Yeah. Now
treat people as you want to be treated.
Yeah. Likewise. The thing with you mentioned earlier is knowing your worth or respecting yourself.
Yes.
You hear that a lot from women. I know my worth, sort of thing.
And listen, this is not for all women. Some women, because there are some women that are beautiful. God bless. They're doing great things with their lives. They have great families. They honor their husbands. They respect their husbands. And when I say honor, it's a sensitive time now. I mean, they cherish their husbands and they appreciate and respect them. But then some women that really are lost, and based on the pollution that we see on social media, a lot of them just have this mentality that they know their value, they know their worth, they know this, and they're really lost.
I think they jumped the gun a little bit with that whole thing because they don't even give a relationship a chance to even develop. where it might be the first date and might be something as simple as they didn't open their car door.
Oh my God.
And now they know their worth, and they haven't given that that relationship a chance to develop. They even had that discussion, and they just close it off because, well, he didn't open my car door. It's our first date. You gotta be respectful. If you weren't respectful on even our first date by opening my car door, that means, you know what, you're not the guy for me.
I'm gonna drive and you be waiting for me to open the car door. So what I'm trying to say is, you just talk about development.
Yeah.
How can you talk about development in a relationship when you don't even know what development means?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them just watch the false narratives being painted online and think that's real life.
Yeah.
Half of the stuff we see on social media is not real life situations. These are all movies. These are all like fiction. Mm-hmm. Not all, but most. And if you don't come from a background where you're family oriented, you've never seen your parents married, you've never been in a two family household, you don't know what it's like to actually have a long sustaining relationship. You've only been through that cycle of single mom, single dad, and all of a sudden now you're trying to watch things online to determine how a relationship should form. No, you're misled. You don't know what development means. Mm-hmm. So when a woman is there judging a man and not even giving him a chance because he did not open a door, it just goes to show that she does not know what development is in terms of building relationships.
Yeah. I'm going to stay on that point because I saw something actually on a show, and because you mentioned social media and all that stuff, I saw something with the opening the car door thing.
Okay.
Now, what do you say, like some women will say they have trauma and they'll pick up the signs early. So stuff that they let go before in previous relationships that didn't pan out, they are catching up on it now. So they're nipping it in the bud per se. So say they have that, their reasoning is that they have trauma,
okay,
right? And the last relationship that they were in, she didn't think it was a big deal that he didn't open the car door or whatever. But later on in the relationship, it started to compound that he didn't respect her, would never open her door, would never talk to her correctly, this, that, whatever. So now, fast forward to a next relationship, the guy doesn't open the car door. It triggers her that, okay, last time this happened, and I let it go. He didn't respect me through the whole relationship. What do you say to that? So it's someone that saying it's from traumatic experiences.
Then you should not have jumped into a new relationship without actually healing your traumas. A lot of people do not seek therapy. Mm-hmm. Therapy is essential when you've been hurt, mm-hmm. when you've been damaged, when you have been actually taken down to such a low level where your self-esteem is shot. Mm-hmm. What happens when a wound is covered by a simple Band-Aid? When you actually go in and play sports with that Band-Aid, eventually the Band-Aid will fall off. Why don't you see if you can actually literally get it stitched so that it can actually put together? Because when you stitch a wound or an open cut, it takes time for it to actually get back to its normal. A lot of people do not really stitch their traumas, stitch their wounds. They just put a Band-Aid on it and they keep going to the next relationship. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to actually absorb all of your traumas from a previous relationship. If you're basing our relationship because I did not open a door, I don't know what to say to you. I'm not the one for you. Mm-hmm. And also, we talked about in the last episode about communication. Have a discussion and tell them what you like. Mm-hmm. What do you like? What do you consider romantic? Maybe if you guys have a discussion, if it's not just a guy using you for sex and he's in there for the long run, then you'll be having these quality time discussions so you can actually figure out what the both of you like. Mm-hmm. So maybe he might say, maybe she might say, you know what's romantic? I like when a door is open for me. I like when I go to a restaurant and they actually, like pull their seat. Noted. Then guess what? After a movie, after dinner, he remembers exactly what she likes and he does what she likes. But you know the problem is these days, a lot of people do not communicate. Mm-hmm. Or even scared to communicate. Yeah. You see a pretty woman, very intimidating, boss lady, Some guys are afraid to even talk to them because they think the girl's just gonna break up with them because there's several other guys waiting in their DMs. But a confident man, a mature man, a man that has value and pride in himself and respect for himself would not let none of those things faze him. They would actually talk. If something is actually not put it across, then he should be able to actually voice his opinion without him being afraid of losing the girl or the woman. You see?
Yeah. Well, you mentioned that communicating.
Yes.
Extremely important. Some women, like you said, won't have that conversation, and they'll expect that this man should almost read their mind, pretty much. Now, with everybody, men and women, some people are a little bit more intuitive than others. Doesn't mean that's a bad thing.
Yeah.
It just means that some people are just more intuitive than others. They can more catch up on cues quicker, right? And some you might have to communicate it a little bit better.
Okay.
Right? Some women, like you said, will not communicate it and expect the man to know that this will make her upset or she won't like this or whatever the deal is, and then crucify him for not picking up on that. What do you say in terms of communication and women that think that that man should, like you said, a high value man should know without me even communicating that? Because there's you've seen some things there where, well, you should know that you should, pull my chair out. I shouldn't have to tell you that.
I know.
You know
Exactly,
what I mean? And
yeah.
it's like, okay, well, I've never done that before. I didn't know that's, you know what I'm saying? Like some people might be just like, yeah, I've brought you to this restaurant. I've made these expensive reservations and they've done their part. They gave you flowers, this, that, whatever, but they didn't pull out your chair. And then now you're upset because you should know I'm dressed nice. I'm in heels. You should know without me telling you that you should pull my chair out. Make sure I sit comfortably. What do you say with that?
Patience. Communication. Talk. Don't just dismiss and abort mission because he is not taking your chair, pulling your chair, so you can sit down or open the car door. Like you said, what if he's never done it before? Why don't you ask him? Haven't you actually done that for a lady before? There's a way women can talk and men can talk to people without being standoffish or very, 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 very blunt. And this is where communication comes in. Customer service reps, their job is to really bring down the tone of an irate customer. Listen, paraphrase, talk, give suggestions, ask, is there anything else that you want to tell me? So for example, if a girl is mad that she has heels on and I never, maybe took the chair, pulled the chair for her to sit down. Sorry, I just didn't know. I didn't know you were into that thing. I've never really done that before because the girls I've dated, they never actually, asked me that before. Then instead of the girl to say, "Oh well, whatever, man, you're just a deadbeat guy," and going on social media to blast the guy, why don't you say, you know what? No, I like it. We should try it sometime. Look, here's a guy. Even show him. What if you guys are watching movies and see, that's a gentleman right there. And guess what? You're also teaching your partner about you. The problem is we don't like to teach each other about ourselves. We rather run to social media and also follow a trend of people that bash other people because they don't have that knowledge and experience in a relationship to figure out what a woman really wants. And what a woman really wants is not based on what the general populace of women want. What does your woman want? Everybody wants to say, "Oh man, my man, da-da-da. If he takes me to the Cheesecake Factory, oh, then it's a cutoff. If he pays with cash and not his black card, or if he doesn't open a door for me," maybe some women don't even want that.
Yeah.
Maybe some men don't even want that. Why don't you talk and communicate?
Yeah.
Communication is a key, brother.
Yeah.
And if you communicate and you're still bashing heads and you've tried, and if you guys are really serious and you want to even take it to another level, such as seeking therapy and speaking to like a therapist or, like a marriage or relationship therapist, and it doesn't work, then guess what? It's not for you.
I think bringing in a therapist or whatever, probably more if there's more involved, right? If it's a marriage or
Which is why I said a
something
serious relationship.
Yeah.
Because people actually do seek therapy as couples. It's not always marriage therapy. There's couples therapy.
Yeah,
Because common lawship is the next closest thing to marriage.
right.
When you're living with somebody for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you're not doing anything that's different from somebody that's married. The only difference is you've not walked down the aisle and you've not actually signed your marriage papers. But you still do everything a married couple will do.
Yeah.
So if you guys are having issues, seek therapy. But some people want to laugh when they find out that their friends are going to therapy.
Yeah.
Some people need that. What if I don't trust people around me? And females especially. Oh, single women that always give advice to their friends that are in relationships. Some of them, not all, but a lot
Yeah,
of them.
some, yeah.
Got to be very careful, ladies. Some of your friends are not really your friends. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell my friend something because she may give me a negative advice. What's wrong with me going to get somebody that can give me advice based on their skill level and being unbiased? So that's why it's good to actually seek somebody, counselor, therapist, that can actually give you advice from an unbiased standpoint. That way you can actually see what they're talking about without being judgmental or presume.
Yeah.
And if all that doesn't work, then you know what? Maybe that relationship is not for you. Because as much as sometimes some people try, sometimes, Nick,
It's not.
if
it's not in the cards.
if it's not for you, it's not for you, man. I'm persistent as hell. Look at me, man. I'm gonna use this small 1-inch hammer and try to knock down that mansion. Nick, I'm going to be trying to hit that mansion down for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But some guy that just comes through has an excavator, has a bulldozer, bow,
Yeah.
because he has the proper tools to actually get the job done.
Yeah.
Some people that are in relationships don't have the proper tools to make that relationship last. And communication is one of the main keys and tools that people need in order to sustain a great relationship.
Yeah. Now, speaking of couples therapy, like
Yes.
you said, not in a marriage, but you've been invested in a relationship for a number of years, and you break up. So say they've been in the relationship 2, 3 years. It was good, and then they had their ups and downs, and then they break up. Would say they have a discussion. It's been a few months, 6 months, 8 months, whatever. Say they have a discussion now, and they decide to get back together and introduce couples therapy at that point to see where it can go. Would you consider that moving backwards or a bad idea?
No, that's a great idea. If you actually love somebody and you see that maybe they have a lot of trauma, earlier you talked about people that have trauma and just opening a car door just triggers their trauma. But if you really care about this person, and we're not just talking about the sex, because sex becomes boring after 3, 4 years. There's so much spaghetti you can eat, and keep telling me it's the best thing you've ever tasted after eating it for 3 years straight. You need to have something else that goes above and beyond sex. This is where after that, people start to see if they're able to gel and if they have what it takes to form a solid companionship. Relationship is not all about intercourse. Intercourse plays a strong part, but what about the ability to actually stay together? Be solid companions, have conversations where you don't even worry about having sex for like weeks because you're like Al Bundy and Peggy. You have to know what else you can bring to the table to sustain your relationship. So if I'm in a position where I need to do therapy, I love this girl, but there's so many things that's not working out and this and that, then you know what? That's a great thing. That's not a bad thing because you're trying to make it work. Now, after seeking therapy and you're still back to square one and things are not working out, then it's time to actually come to a conclusion to say that, you know what? It's been a slice. We tried our best and it does not work. And this is why one of the main reasons why people separate, in addition to infidelity and finances, is irreconcilable differences. Sometimes things just happen the way it happens and you just have to go with the flow and just keep moving.
Yeah.
Why try to go into a barn with boars that are always charging at you?
Yeah.
You go into the damn barn, you see the boar charging at you, you get hit, you run, and then 2 weeks later, you're coming back for more fun.
Mm-hmm.
You're just wasting time and you're also hurting yourself.
Yeah.
And in a relationship, aside from my analogy, in a relationship, not only are you wasting your time, age is going, the woman's biological clock can be ticking depending on her age, and you guys are just emotionally scarring yourselves to the point where you might not even be friends after.
Yeah.
And nothing is worse than people that were good friends get into a relationship and they become enemies.
Yeah. You definitely have to have something else other than sex.
Definitely.
And I think that's one of the points that we've talked about it before in terms of being compatible with each other. Super important because, a lot of people say opposites attract. And while they do in the beginning, later on, yeah, you're just not going to gel.
You're not going to gel, man.
Yeah, you're not going to gel. And some people will say, because it is exciting, because you're seeing something different that you haven't seen. But,
exactly.
And it might be cute in the beginning, but it's not cute later on. You got to enjoy the same things.
You got to enjoy the same things. You got to enjoy the same things. Tell me somebody that has actually purchased a new vehicle and is so excited about it after driving it for 10 years.
Yeah.
It's not as excitable anymore.
Right.
When you first have your new whip, you don't even want to let even one speck of dust touch it. You're going to the car wash.
Yeah.
After year 5, year 6, who cares if a bird craps on it?
Yeah.
You wash it later.
Yeah.
Same thing that you're talking about with a relationship.
Yeah.
It's new, it's very fresh and exciting in the beginning, but afterwards, what else do you have?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to have other things for sure. And that's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, because it is true. Like, if you are getting a new whip, it's exciting.
It's exciting.
And that's why you should take the time at the beginning to find out what are the things that you like, not just getting a new ride because you need to get from point A to point B.
Exactly.
But getting something that you're going to like. You need the space. You have kids. You're going to need more trunk space. Roof space. You're going to need
you think
this.
far ahead. Exactly.
You think far ahead.
Not
right.
just buying the car for the sake of buying it. All of a sudden now, you have 3 kids and you can't even fit one in it, or because you're a
right.
2-seater.
Right.
Like you got to see a lot of people just jump, right? Like, don't get me wrong. We're all attracted to nice things that look good. When you meet somebody from a man's perspective and from a woman's perspective, I've never met anybody that says, "Oh my God, that guy looks so good. Look at his brain."
Yeah.
Woo! Or you meet a girl and like, "Oh my God, the intellect in that woman."
Yeah.
Nobody says that.
Yeah.
We like the physical aspects, but then when you start to talk to them, go on a couple of dates, this is where you start to actually like weed out the red flags
Right.
before you actually go into something that you might regret.
Yeah.
It's not just about the physical aspects of someone.
Yeah.
It's actual the inside of the person,
Yeah.
the mental aspect, the emotional aspect.
Yeah.
All that comes in after the physicalities that people admire.
Yeah. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Now, can someone at the beginning in a date, I guess, again, this is something with age, in a first date, can you kind of decipher what that person is like and know if that's going to be a second date? Or I think that comes with age, though, and experience.
Age and experience doesn't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Have you heard of a term where people live a double life?
Mm-hmm.
Some people that are married to their husbands and wives do not even know they have another life.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't know.
Yeah.
You can know as much as possible, but if somebody's really, really skilled and crafted at being a Decepticon, you will not know.
Yeah.
So the next best thing is to live with them and spend a lot of time with them so you can actually be able to study some of their habits. Doesn't mean you have to be a detective and put in a microscope all the time to see everything they're doing, but don't just tell me that you met somebody in 1 month and then in 6 months you're getting married. That's crazy. It might happen. It might work.
Happen, yeah.
Hey, it might work for some people, but a lot of people, it might not work because you don't even know them. This is my advice that I always tell people. Before you marry, live with them. So you get to know what you like and don't like about the person.
Yeah.
All of a sudden now you haven't moved in with this person. You got engaged in 4 months because that's the love of your life. Oh my God, people confuse good sex sometimes for love. But anyways, that's another topic.
Yeah, they do.
But so all of a sudden now you're engaged, and then you decide to move in with each other after you get married. All of a sudden now you can't stand that your husband lifts the toilet seat up, oh my God, this girl doesn't wash the dishes this way, or she just puts clothes on the floor, or this guy always burps every time he's in the bed with me. You start to see different things that you may not like.
Yeah.
Live with the person. If you can tolerate living with that person for a couple of years, even a year, then you have an idea of the type of person that he or she is, and you can actually determine if you want to move forward in a relationship with that person.
Yeah. Now, do you have to go and live with someone, or like, what if you've been on a couple of vacations for 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
Nick, stop it, man.
No. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Can you not determine in that space of time, or not? You don't think so?
I'm just gonna repeat what I said. Nick, just stop it, man. Nick, how can you determine someone because you go on a vacation?
Yeah.
I can go on a vacation with a coworker.
Yeah.
Yay! It's great. But once you guys are back on your own soil, she goes that way, he goes that way, everything else is back to normal. You don't know what the person's doing.
Yeah.
You don't know what habits. You came together for a vacation.
Yeah.
For a vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, the sex will be great. The hanging out, the seeing the beaches. What happens when all of those accessories are gone and removed? Then what are you left with? You don't know that person. You only know them as your vacation bae.
Yeah. Bay vacations, right?
Bay vacations, vacation bay, because you guys come together for that particular purpose. That's our thing. It's like when I have coworkers, we can have volleyball night on Thursday. Man, I love playing volleyball with Cindy. She's great. I love playing volleyball with Mary. Oh, she is amazing. But we come together for that particular purpose and we do it well. But then what happens when volleyball's over?
Yeah.
I don't know what she's doing. She doesn't know what I'm doing. So I just think if you live with someone, or at least spend a lot of time with that person as much as possible, but nothing beats living with them.
Yeah.
Because you get to know the person that you're actually involved with if you live with that person.
Yeah.
Going to bed together, waking up in the morning. This guy's talking to me anyhow, doesn't even brush his teeth in the morning. Look at this guy's underwears, man. Yeah. I'm trying to do laundry and I'm seeing skids.
Yeah.
Not all, this is just an example.
Damn.
But you have to, it's deep, but ask a couple of people about habits that their significant others.
You're absolutely right.
What?
You're absolutely right.
We hear that all the time.
Yeah.
There are habits that people do not know that these people have until they live with them.
Yeah.
And then once you actually can live with the person, tolerate that person, oh my God, how many people broke up during the pandemic, during quarantine?
Yeah.
How many divorces and how many separations took place?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're in a cube with someone, you probably can't even stand that person.
Yeah.
The reason why you're able to sustain that relationship is because you have breaks. Going to work, coming back, going out, going shopping. All those are little breaks so you're not losing your mind being with somebody that you can't even stand talking to all day, every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you did touch on something that we are going to talk about on another episode is the work colleague get-togethers, work wife,
the work wife,
husband.
work husband.
That's definitely something that we're going to touch on next.
Wasn't there just a clip that went viral about a CEO and the HR? Was that not a work husband and work wife?
2 million views.
It was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, whoever saw that,
Was that not a work wife, work husband? That's another topic, but hey, man, I'm not even going to talk about it. We'll save it for another time.
Thank you for tuning in, Frank the MC.
Yes.
As always, a pleasure to be with you, man.
For sure. Likewise.
Anything coming up?
Yeah, got a lot of shows, got a lot of weddings, corporate events, speaking engagements. I also do speaking engagements as well. I talk about certain topics such as youth empowerment, diversity, equity, inclusion, gun violence, motivation, marketing, leadership, and so much more. So if people want to actually book me for a speaking engagement, just reach out to me. I will send you my topics. You just let me know which are the topics you wish to actually talk about at your speaking engagement, and I'll be there.
Awesome. Frank the MC.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in.
And what about you? Stop. Let's stop all this because you're a very humble guy. What about you? What do you have going right now?
Well, as you know, I'm working with a very reputable company building homes.
Very nice.
So we have quite a bit on the go, which is why I've been really busy. But it's just been nothing short of amazing.
Amazing.
Just amazing experience. With the lives of people that we're building homes for,
nice,
and seeing the pleasure on their faces and stuff as they get their keys to go into the new house and stuff like that. It's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling. And I did construction with you, in the past, and I also with other companies as well. And yeah, nothing beats when you actually give them the keys to their home.
Yes.
And that's what we're talking about. When you actually can make a difference in someone's life, it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
You actually create homes for people, and nothing's more important than homes.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to have children, have a home, have a car, have a wife, or have a husband. You are given one of those key elements of life.
Yeah.
So seeing people happy is what brings joy. And for me, I do weddings, I do corporate events, I do speaking engagements. I make people happy. I bring memories to their wedding day. Because when people marry, they're married till death do them apart. So I love also seeing that feeling of people being happy with the service I provide.
Yeah.
So kudos to you once more. I'm always going to big you up. The more you big me up, I'm going to turn it around and big you up, because we both got to empower each other and got to appreciate each other and to see the progress we're both making before our numbers are called.
Yeah, I appreciate you. And that's how our relationship has been over the years.
Over the years,
we support
man.
each other. So
exactly.
I appreciate you, man.
For sure,
Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time on The Talk Exchange.